it's either they want to get it or they don't. And ultimately, I personally believe that it's rooted in whether or not they actually have a love for Black people, which would fuel their desire to want to understand, to ensure that their kids have all the tools they need in order to lead a successful life, or whether they just like Black dick. I remember when we were going to go visit some friends of his, and we went to a pool party, and there was a little girl who was there. She couldn't have been more than like 3 or 4 years old, and her hair was in shambles. And I kept staring at her, and he kept saying, no, leave it alone, leave it alone. I'm like, I don't want to leave it alone, but fine, whatever. This is the first time I was meeting these people. I wasn't gonna, trip about some little girl that I didn't know. We eventually make it back into the house, and I'm talking to the mother, and it organically, as it usually does, comes up about the topic of my hair and what I put in it. We get to talking for a couple of minutes, and I eventually say, oh, I'm like, oh, okay, well, have you thought about going to like maybe a Black salon and taking like a one-on-one class to learn how to do her hair? Because the little girl, her hair, like I said, it was in shambles. It looked incredibly dry, and she had it cut down to a really short fro. And even from what I was looking at, her hair, the texture of her hair was fairly soft, and it looked like would have been easily managed if she had just had access to good products and technique. But the mom was like, yeah, no, I'm not really interested in doing that. And I was like, okay, well, have you ever thought about just taking her to, a Black shop and having them do her hair in order to, get the length that you guys are looking for? Because that was mom's primary concern. She was like, I don't understand why her hair is not growing. And I kept trying to explain to her, I'm like, well, it's not that her hair isn't growing. It's because you're not taking proper care of it, that you're not seeing the retention of the length that she is having, like everybody else has. Her hair just doesn't not grow to not grow. That doesn't make any sense. She proceeds to then say, yeah, no, I've thought about that, but I just don't want her coming back with one of those like hood hairstyles. The fact that people just don't think before they speak. And I asked her what she meant by that, and she said she just didn't want her daughter looking ghetto. And it just, I'm like, in that moment I realized, I'm like, okay, so you don't actually like Black people. You just like Black men. You like Black dick. And these are the type of white women that go on to raise culturally unaware mixed people.